Hey, we're doing some Python programming. This is my website and of course my YouTube channel. So we're talking about list, and we're at the point now where this is like the third video. I think I'm calling it 9C, where we've actually printed off some data, put it in a list, and then counted the frequency. That is the number of times that, for example, 1 appears, the number of times 2 appears, the number of times 3 appears, and so forth. Now what we're going to do is make a table. Okay, a nice pretty table where we'll have our data, and I think I'm actually calling this X, and it's a random variable, the random variable X. Anyway, and then this is the number of times it occurs, and then we'll put the percentage. We'll put the percentage here. All right, so let's get started, shall I say? Okay, so you know what? Let's just run this real quick. Make sure everything's good on this. Okay, so let's say we had 10 data points. Okay, and we were randomly selecting a number between 1 and 5, and we can call that actually what's known as a random variable. Okay, it's an unknown quantity that's just randomly selected. And so as you can see here, this is what we've got. And like I said, it's a random variable between 1 and 5 inclusively. That means we include 1 and 5. And as you can see here, for example, in this particular one position here, this is the number of times 1 occurs. And as you can actually, we'll look in our list here, as you can see, 1 occurs 1 time, 2 occurs, looks like just 1 time, 3 occurs, and that will be 3 times, 1, 2, and 3, as you can see, and 4 and 5. Let's see, 5 occurs twice, 1, 2. Okay, so that all looks good. Now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and print that first row. We'll print the first row of our table. So print, we're going to make a table here. Now I'm going to do some spaces here, and it'll become clear why that is. Alright, so the first one, we shall print our random variable, and then we're going to tab over a space, and let me get this out of the way here. It's in the way. Okay. Okay, let's see, comma, and let's see, this is going to be the frequency. We'll just label it that. Then we're going to tab over again, and this will be our percentage. We'll display it as a percentage. And what do we got? Okay, I believe that's it. Let's go ahead and run this and make sure everything is going to be just kosher. Alright, so we'll say 10, and we have X, frequency, and percentage. Okay. Alright, looks good. You know, that's the way you kind of do programming. You do a little bit, run it, make sure there's no bugs. Alright. Okay, now this part here, we're going to have to loop through that list. Okay, we'll have to loop through the list, and we'll start with C is equal to 3 or 0 while, and what this will be the 0th position in the list. So remember that the list in that index position is going, that first position is going to be start with 0. Now this may be something new. Well, it's something new here because we haven't used it before. And what this is, this LEN is, tells me how long is the frequency list. Okay, that would be the number of elements that are actually in the frequency. So there should be 5. So this is actually going to go to that length will go to 5, but now remember we're starting out with 0. Okay, so it's really 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that means that that would be 5 positions. Okay, so that means there's just a less than symbol here. And now what we're going to do, let's see, we hit enter and we went back that far. Really? I guess so. Okay, print. And so now what we're going to do is print. This thing is becoming, I just need to close it down. It's really in my way, to say the least. Yeah, it's in the way. C3 plus 1, I hope. Okay, that thing is in my way. Okay. So we're going to have to do something kind of tricky here. Let's see, C3, we're going to add 1 to this. Hopefully that'll become clear here in just a minute. Because, see, we're starting out with 0, and if I say 0 here, then it would be 0 plus 1. So we want to print off, for the first row, in order to get a number 1 printed off here. If we're going to use the C3 here variable, then we're going to have to add 1 to that. Okay. Alright. And then let's see, what are we going to do here? Okay, so that would be, right, listing as 1. And now we'll do C3 plus 1. So that's that random variable column. And then we're going to tab over. Alright. And then this will be the frequency. So we're going to go look in the frequency list. And so as you can see, since C3 is 0, this is going to be going what is in position frequency 0, right, in the 0th index right here. And that's what that's going to be doing, and it's going to be pulling that number out and displaying it on the screen. And then we will tab over again, and now this time, now remember, we'll have to convert this number here to a string, okay? And this time, so we're going to calculate the percentage, and that means that what we'll do is, now remember we had k number of data points, we will divide that by the frequency, divide it into the frequency there, and then of course moving that decimal place over 2 places to the right, we'll have to multiply it by 100. Alright, see that? So this this parentheses here is actually well, I don't see why we need more than, really, let's just do this. Okay, so we got a parentheses in both ends, so that's going to be a string plus, and then we want to concatenate the percentage symbol on top of that, like that. Alright, and then we have C3 is equal to, we'll have to increment this by 1. Okay, and let's run this thing and hopefully we don't have any problems. So number of data points 10, and there we go, we got a nice percentage table. So as you can see here, this X actually needs to be lined up a little better. So 1 occurs 1 time. Let's take a look. If you look up here, 1, yep, it's only 1 time, right? And then 2 occurs 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course we could actually look at our frequency list, which is this right here, and then we got the percentages, right? So if it occurs 1 time and there's only 10 data point, or 10 of them, so that would be 10% of the time. So 2 occurs 4 times, so that'd be 40% of the time. Now, okay, so that actually looks good. Now, the whole idea of this is if we had the numbers 1 through, let's say, 100, right, and we didn't want, we have to go back now to like 8A, tutorial 8A, okay, and where we had 1 through 100, okay. So that's where the power of this looping is actually going to take place. And in the next tutorial, which we're going to make that 9D, I guess, we're going to actually demonstrate that, okay, and maybe do a couple tweaks to it. Alright, so we're over here. This is where we are, learning some Python and maybe a little math.